For 23 years I sat on the federal bench, and the cases that disturbed me most were not the criminals, they were the families. Sons and daughters who stripped everything from their own aging parents and did it so carefully, so legally, that the law could barely touch them. No locks broken, no threats made, just paperwork, signatures, and an old person who trusted the wrong child. I am 87. Let me show you the 5 ways it happens. I want to be careful and fair. Most children who help an aging parent are honest. They sacrifice. They show up. This is not about them. This is about the small number who see a parent's decline not as a loss, but as an opportunity. And I am sorry to tell you, after 23 years on the bench, that number is larger than you would ever want to believe. The first way, the power of attorney trap. A power of attorney is a document that lets someone act on your behalf, sign for you, manage your money, make decisions. It exists for good reasons, but it is also the single most dangerous piece of paper an old person can sign without understanding it. Because the moment you grant a broad, unlimited power of attorney to one person, you have legally handed them the keys to everything you own. I saw a case. An 84-year-old widow, sharp as anyone, signed a general power of attorney giving her son authority to handle things while she recovered from surgery. Within 6 months, he had drained her accounts, taken a second mortgage on her home, and moved the money where no one could trace it. And here is the cruelty of it. Because she had signed that document willingly, much of what he did was technically legal. The law gave him the authority. He simply abused it. So protect yourself. Never sign a broad power of attorney to a single person without an attorney of your own explaining every line. Use a limited power of attorney where you can. Require that 2 people or a bank review large transactions. And know this, you can revoke a power of attorney at any time as long as you are of sound mind. Most elderly people never learn that. The person who took the power rarely mentions it. The second way, the helpful joint bank account. It always begins with a kindness. Mama, let me be added to your account so I can help pay your bills if anything happens. It sounds responsible. It sounds loving. And in an honest family it is. But understand what a joint account actually means in the eyes of the law. When someone is added to your bank account as a joint owner, that money is now legally half theirs. Not when you die, right now. They can withdraw all of it today and owe you no explanation. I saw a daughter empty her father's life savings from a joint account, and the court could do almost nothing, because legally the money was already hers to take. He had given it to her himself with a signature at the bank on an afternoon he thought he was just being practical. If a child needs to help with your bills, there is a safer way. Ask your bank about a convenience account or an authorized signer arrangement where they can pay your bills, but the money remains legally yours. The difference sounds small. It is the difference between someone helping you and someone owning you. The third way, they move in to move you out. This one is subtle, and it wears the mask of devotion. A child, often one who has struggled financially, offers to move in, to take care of you. And sometimes that is exactly what it is, a blessing. But sometimes it is the first step of a slow takeover of your home and your life. It progresses quietly. First they are helping, then they are making decisions. Then your friends find it harder to reach you. Then your other children are told you don't want visitors today. Then one day there are papers in front of you about the house, about your care, about your money, and the only person explaining them to you is the very person who benefits from them. By the time anyone notices, the old person is isolated inside their own home, dependent on the one who engineered it. The protection here is simple, but you must insist on it. Never let one child become the only door to you. Keep your own relationships. Keep your own phone. Keep your other children and your friends informed and welcome. The isolation is the weapon. As long as many people have eyes on your life, the takeover cannot happen in the dark. The fourth way, the quiet deed transfer. Your home is very likely the largest thing you own, and it can be signed away with a single page that most people do not understand when they sign it. I saw it more than once. A parent is told, if we put the house in my name now, we avoid taxes later, or we keep it safe from the nursing home. Sometimes that advice is sound when it comes from your own attorney. But when it comes from the child who stands to gain, be very careful, because once you sign your home over, it is no longer yours. If that child has debts, your home can be seized for them. If that child decides to sell, you can be put out of the house you have lived in for 50 years. I saw an 89-year-old man evicted from his own home by his own son, and it was entirely legal because the deed had his son's name on it, not his. Never transfer the deed to your home to anyone without your own independent attorney, not the family's attorney, not the child's attorney, yours, explaining exactly what you keep and what you give up. There are ways to protect a home that do not require handing it over while you are still living in it. A good elder law attorney knows them. The child rushing you to sign usually does not mention them. And the fifth way, the one that makes all the others possible, isolation. Every single case I described had one thing in common. Before the money moved, before the papers were signed, the parent was made alone. A person who is surrounded by people, who talks to friends, sees other family, has a doctor and a pastor, and neighbors who know them. That person is almost impossible to rob this way. There are too many witnesses. So the very first move is always to thin out the herd. They discourage your visitors. They answer your phone for you. They tell your other children you are too tired or confused or don't want to see them. They tell you those same children have abandoned you. Slowly, the world shrinks until there is only one voice left in it, theirs. So if you are old, guard your connections like they are gold, because they are your protection. And if you love someone old, and you notice that you suddenly cannot reach them, that one family member always answers for them, that the visits keep getting canceled, do not assume the worst about your parent. Assume something is wrong with the door. Knock harder. 5 ways. The power of attorney trap. The joint bank account. Moving in to move you out. The quiet deed transfer. And isolation that makes all of it possible. Notice that not one of these requires breaking a single law. That is what makes it so dangerous. The thief does not need to steal. They only need you to sign. Hear me carefully. I am not telling you to fear your children. Most of them love you and would never do these things. I am telling you to keep 3 protections in place, no matter how much you trust them. First, never sign anything important without your own independent attorney, not the family's, yours. Second, never let one person become your only connection to the world. And third, keep your dignity by keeping your information. The old man who knows his rights keeps his own counsel and stays surrounded by people who love him. That man cannot be taken. Be that man. Be that woman, right up to the end.